I think it's loading. Okay, we're live.
Hey, everybody. And they can already see us too, or?
Yeah, yep.
Okay. Hi, everybody. We can't see who's getting on. At least I can't from my house or from where I'm at in my personal bunker. But I know that y'all are getting on, and we're gonna just, I guess, do a little small talk while we're waiting for more people to join. Humberto, if you can maybe in the chat, like just kind of let me know how many people are joining or as people are joining. I hope everybody had a great weekend. Jonathan, you and I can talk, right?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear. I can hear you. Hopefully everybody else can. You had a good weekend?
I'm bouncing back and forth between Gmark Connect and looking at the Zoom.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, let me see. Let me go to Gmark Connect and do the same thing. To see if it's up, but yeah. So we tested, didn't quite work with what we were doing on Friday. So we went in a different direction by going to Zoom and going to a live Facebook event through Zoom. A lot of people on Friday, we were trying to work it out, and we're saying, oh, when somebody comes up and they comment or you see them, you should be able to have them join Facebook. But what we found out after is that Facebook has taken that ability away. That's no longer a feature in Facebook private groups. So for whatever reason, that's why it wasn't working. But we live and we learn and we adjust, and that's why we had the test on Friday. So today, Jonathan and I are very happy that we found a workaround, and we got to thank David Casares and Humberto, because on Friday, for about an hour and a half after, we were working on trying to find the workaround and setting up our systems and see that computers could handle this live event. We are very excited to at least talk to somebody else. Like I can see Jonathan's face, and it's great to see people, and I wish we could see all of you. I'm sure that everybody's longing for FaceTime with everybody, especially, working in the Valley and working in a small, medium association like ours. We tend to have a lot of events, and we tend to always have an ability to connect with other realtors with open houses and realtor lunches. And so this is a unique time, and we're all adjusting and trying to get used to it. And so talking to somebody and talking period is an outlet now. And we don't take that for granted anymore, do we? Jonathan?
I'm here.
Yeah, so
I think one thing that I wanted to mention, this is definitely different times, and, as we're all adapting to this new technology, it's really great. I mean, I've actually incorporated it into a few of my showings already, whether it's been a virtual showing or where I've actually gone out to the house and shown it over FaceTime. I actually did a Zoom call with somebody and sent them the link, and we were able to Zoom while I was walking around the house. So definitely learning and definitely adapting is what I'm noticing.
And I think we're going to see that through the industry. And, we kind of text and communicate with each other frequently. And we always have the president and the CEO or AE. We always have a lot of communication very frequently. But one of the things that we've been talking about in the last couple of weeks is how many Zoom meetings we're in and how much information is being fed to us through NAR, TAR. And it's kind of overwhelming, the amount of information. And honestly, last week, there was so many Zoom meetings and so many Zoom happy hours and all that kind of stuff where we're connecting with people, because that's what this industry is. That's how we work. But over the weekend was the first time that I had the ability to actually start processing not only the information, but using it to take notes and start writing notes on, okay, this is how we can incorporate things here. These are adjustments that we can make locally. These are things that we start to plan for the future of the association and to work with the leadership. And we haven't had this type of opportunity for the members to hear from me, from the members to hear from you, Jonathan, in this way. And I'm excited about that, if that makes sense, right?
No, it makes perfect sense. And it makes perfect sense. You know, I did a few Zoom calls last week. Of course, like I said, with some clients, did a Zoom meeting with my own office. But the one that I got a lot of info out of was the one that I did with Texas Realtors. Texas Realtors pulled together all the local association presidents across the state. I think with Texas Realtor staff and the presidents across the state, we had just over 80 people on that Zoom call, which lasted just under an hour and a half. A lot of great info, though, some of which we'll talk about here in a little bit.
Yeah, and so when I kind of jumped the idea on you on Friday, I think it was about how much I valued the connection that I was and the connecting that I was getting from doing the Zoom meetings with people from around the country. And I thought, if it works there, surely our members want to hear from us, and surely they want to connect with us, because we connect with members as they come into the office all the time with our staff and myself, and I miss seeing members going up to the front, making copies. Somebody's in the break room getting coffee or getting snacks, or walking to the boardroom and somebody's buying something at the store. Those everyday connections that at the time you don't really pay attention to, but definitely missing that. And I wanted to say, if I'm missing it, I think the members are too. And one of the ways that we can address that for them is to do this, and to try to schedule something where we are connecting with them and providing them information that we're getting, because we know everybody's uneasy with what's happening and unsure of what's going to happen in the future. And if I can take anything away from all of the Zoom meetings last week and all the discussions, the one takeaway I had, and I know I've had this discussion with you, Jonathan, was how I think this is a great opportunity where innovation takes place, because we are being challenged to think outside the box, and we are being challenged to work in a way that we've never worked before. And there's creativity in the responses and in the solutions that are going to be developed, and that we're all trying to bring to the table, because we all are a service industry. We are serving our members, and our job is to find new ways to do that. So I absolutely am excited about our Membership Mondays, and maybe we've already talked too much, but as I said, I'm missing talking to people.
Yeah, and one other thing that I've actually chatted with the office about. Sorry, I'm on my phone and just trying to get emails off the screen there. One thing that I've actually talked with the office, and one thing that I've actually on a few closed Facebook groups with some other people in the industry, is like you said, we are in the service industry and we want to serve our clients. We have a duty to serve our clients. Just as you and I have a duty for the association, just as the board of directors, the committee chairs, and the committee members, they all have a duty to the association. But one of the constants that I got out of the closed Facebook groups that I'm a part of is don't feed the fear of what the media is saying about this coronavirus. I do feel bad for everybody that has gotten the virus, for those that have passed and their family members. But, as a realtor association, as a realtor member, and as someone who has clients, I'm trying to reach out to them and say, hey, you know what, everything's going to come calm. This will pass. Let me know how I can assist you. I think it's getting out there, being in front of people where we're going to shine. I
agree, Jonathan. Again, this is the challenge that everybody's facing, and the more creative and innovative and responsive you are to your situation, I think the more likely you're going to have success, and it's going to teach us and all of us, make us aware of a new way of working and a new way of being. Again, this is why we're having this conversation today, to just have a conversation with our members, make them aware we're not turning our eyes, we're not closing our eyes to what's going on, and we're trying our best to address the needs. With as much information as we're receiving, it's not easy to process it all, and our responsibility is to do that. And not only myself, and not trying to, kind of state a canned answer, but the board is really aware and of it all. And I'm grateful for your leadership, Jonathan.
Thank you.
And like I said, our frequent communication is just helped that, the fact that we already had good communication before this, and having somebody who's positive helps, because I'm the worry wart.
No, definitely. And I mean, together we'll get through this. Together we're going to come out stronger. And once we get through this as an association, we're going to be stronger. That is my hope. That is my goal for the association, is that we get through this together and we come out stronger than when we went in.
Yeah, and again, this week, in fact, there's a couple of things that I'm looking into, and that have to do with bringing more resources to our members, and a lot of last week, a lot of the presentations were, these are some resources, these are some tools that can help your members. And even our vendors, even the vendors who had reached out over the years, they're being creative in how they're saying, hey, you know what, we did this, we have this tool, but if we do it this way, or if we cut costs this way, maybe it's gonna at least help the members out there, and let them at least try out our product. So I'm looking at different ideas, and actually sitting through more meetings of products, because again, this is what's needed right now, and that's what our members need.
Exactly. So if we could get started, one thing that I took away from, or one thing that I want to bring up, is that this Wednesday, April 8th at 1 p.m. Eastern Time, 12 p.m. Central Time, NAR is going to be going live with leadership. That's something that I encourage everybody to reach out and see if they can take a part of. It's going to be done on Facebook.com. I believe after this, Humberto's going to have updated our website with all this info. But that's something that I encourage all members to take a look at. That's witnessing your NAR leadership in action, your NAR leadership interacting with members. It's going to be on Facebook, facebook.com/NAR.realtor. Like I said, live with your NAR leadership Wednesday, April 8th at 12 p.m.
Yeah, and we are lucky or fortunate enough that when we go to conferences and we are, they come before us and they kind of give us updates. These are different kind of updates that they're going to be doing, and it's going to. I hope that as many members as we have joined that live event, hear directly from your national leadership about what their vision is and what they're doing. I know that we've been trying to post as much information as we get, and that the last email that went out to membership and that we posted about had to do with the health insurance that NAR is covering for 2 months for members. Yeah, so as you said, one of the things that we're working on and trying to work on as quickly as possible was to post information on our website with links to both NAR and TAR. They have special pages that they've put up that are in their websites, and we want to. Most members go to our gmar.org. Let me do a little plug, gmar.org, and on our website we'll have links linking you to TAR and NAR's COVID pages on COVID-19. We're going to post what we're going to talk about today a little bit later. The census, that's one of the items that I could talk about really quick. And that's if you have not responded to your census, the last day to do so is April the 14th, I believe, before they send out people to walk the neighborhoods. But it's very important that our members are pushing that they're responding themselves, and that they are asking their family and friends to respond to the census form also. April the 14th is the date.
Exactly. And, it's not to be taken lightly. The census is a very important for our local area here as well as our state. A lot of the state and federal funding is derived from the population count that the census tallies. So members, if you haven't done the census yet, be sure to fill out that census, get it turned in. Take this time, reach out to your clients, let them know, hey, it's 2020, it's a new decade. Reach out and have them fill out the census. The more people that we can get counted in our area, the more funding we can get in our area, which helps our community in the long run. The census won't be done till 2030. I mean, think about that. That's 10 years from now. So how much work can be done in our community? How much funding would be available to us if we just all get counted?
Right. So we definitely wanted to bring that up. And like I said, we're going to be adding links to important information about what Jonathan and I are talking to you about on our website, gmar.org. I noticed that Humberto, as we're on this Zoom meeting and presentation, that he in the comments has just already added some links. So if you need the information, you can always look at the comments within this live Facebook event, and there's links there already, but they will be added to our website.
Exactly. On my call with Texas Realtors, it was a lot had to do with this coronavirus, this COVID-19. But for those of you that haven't checked your emails or haven't seen it, Texas Realtors actually has some PDF forms that are out related to COVID-19 for extending closing dates, certification of property access, and then they have a couple of, they have a commercial addendum as well as a lease payment plan agreement. I encourage you all go to texasrealestate.com/coronavirus. Take a look at those forms. Use those forms in your business. Use those forms with your clients. But for all the updates from Texas Realtors, texasrealestate.com/coronavirus. That's where you can access it. Texas Realtors is actually trying to update that page multiple times a day. It's got a lot of great info, a lot of great stuff that members can take advantage of just by being a Texas Realtor.
Yes. And the other forms, so you talked about the commercial form that they updated recently?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, so I'm sorry. I was looking at comments and trying to follow along and like comments and stuff like that on the Facebook page. I have my laptop where I'm talking, and on the other laptop, I'm looking at the Facebook Live event. And so I wanted to make sure that I was liking the comments, and I'm trying to keep up with who's on and who's commenting. I know Anita was on. I saw that she commented, "You don't feed the fear." I like that hashtag, Anita. Let's see what else.
Now, one thing I wanted to add on, Monica, you can elaborate. I'm sure everybody saw the email that went out last Tuesday from Texas Realtors. It went out later in the afternoon. On March 31st, Governor Abbott basically signed an order saying real estate is considered an essential service. I know we've gotten a lot of phone calls and text messages between you and I, Monica, as well as the association, asking if we can conduct business. Based on that amended order that Governor Abbott did sign, yes, real estate professionals statewide may continue to serve clients while demonstrating care for the health and well-being of the greater public. That's also available on texasrealestate.com/coronavirus.
Which the link we're going to be putting on our website.
Correct.
You can look for
Correct.
the link to the TAR COVID page, and a lot of the information we're covering is there. Links to all the addendums to the documents, to the governor's order, etc. It's all in that one page. And you know, very, very proud of our Texas Realtor and National Association of Realtors with their responses of putting information together and getting it to us. And then, you know, taking the time to review that information with us on a more personal basis, as opposed to just sending out an email with an announcement. So I know that I can see that my computer is having a little bit of trouble. Just so everybody knows, I'm on a little laptop and it's not feeding very well. So I apologize for the delay and sometimes on my computer. But yeah, so very proud of all of our leadership. And I know that last week, and we're getting emails and questions in regards to board action that was taken. So I think, Jonathan, you know, it was not that there was great discussion, and I'm honored to be part of the board of directors that has the courage that it does. And I'd like you to elaborate a little bit about that board action.
So at our March board meeting, one of the topics that was discussed was the membership dues and what are we going to do to help members during this time. We understand that closings have been delayed, closings have been canceled, showings are getting halted or showings are being reduced. And so we reached out and we looked, or not reached out, but we took a look at what other associations are doing across the state, larger associations, similar size associations. And we looked to see how they were helping their members and what they were doing. So at our March board meeting, the board of directors had a discussion on this. For the second quarter dues, which were due April 1st, the board had elected to extend the deadline of April 1st to May 15th with no penalty on late fees. So for the second quarter dues, you still have to pay the full amount, but you have until May 15th. There is no late fee. If you don't pay by June 1st, that's when, unfortunately, the suspensions do start. In regards to the third quarter fees, the board went ahead and took action on that as well and decided to waive the third quarter fees so long as you are current with your second quarter dues. So to reiterate, second quarter dues have to be paid in full, but the deadline has been extended to May 15th. The third quarter dues are waived so long as your second quarter dues are paid. Another thing, since it's going to be an amount that we're, unfortunately the association is not collecting, we have decided to send that to membership for a vote as well, in detail as to the amount of funds not being collected. So this was acted on by the board of directors. It is going to membership for a vote, and that will be coming out soon. So be sure to be on lookout for your emails. Monica, you want to add to that?
I do, because that's the one question I've been getting most on emails, from the announcement response emails that I've been getting is, and forgive me, I'm going to try to speak up a little bit because my AC kicked on and it's loud. But one of the biggest questions I'm getting is, when are we voting and how are we voting? I'm in the process of trying to find a vendor to do the voting, and the reason being that we used to do our voting through Navica. We no longer have Navica as our AMS system. And so I'm in the process of finalizing, getting the final cost in regards to using a different vendor for elections and online voting. We do have a final company that I'm talking with, and they handle a lot of voting for a lot of associations throughout the country. So it's going to come down to, as soon as I get the final cost and what it's going to look like for the association, we will set that election up and send that information out to you, the members, on when and how to vote. Expected date for voting would be somewhere around the end of, we have to, because of our bylaws and the process to notify members of the vote and the voting, we have at least 21 days before it'll happen. Once finalize that. So my expectation is that voting would be taking place either the last week of April, first week of May. Okay, so if everybody can just expect that around the beginning of May is when voting will be taking place on the waiver of the third quarter fees, third quarter MLS fees. Just writing a note for myself.
There we go. Thank you, Monica. I had to run off. My phone was dying. I need to go get a battery pack. Zoom takes a lot of your battery.
Yeah. Okay. So the other, what was the other subject? I need to click over to Outlook.
So the CARES Act that was signed by Congress.
Yes, the CARES Act. There's a lot of information on both the TAR and the NAR website, and I have a feeling that y'all are going to hear more about that from the live event that NAR is hosting. I think the biggest win and the biggest announcement out of the CARES Act was that independent contractors were allowed to be included in unemployment applications that are submitted. And that was our national office working very hard within the White House to get that included. And if ever there's a time that we know our tree pack or PAC monies are going somewhere, that was a huge win. And to know more about that, you're going to have to ask questions. Everybody will have to do that. The information is getting put together by NAR, and they will be sharing with members. We are sharing the information as we're getting it. I think there's still more clarification and that is taking place. And again, it's all being shared, but I have a suspicion that on Wednesday at the NAR live event, Facebook event, there's going to be some sort of presentation and explanation in more detail for all members. So it'd be really great for everybody to get on that and talk about it, but it was a big win.
Exactly. You know, going back real quick, you had mentioned the PAC, and, you know, and one thing that Texas Realtors did mention is that, you know, we are a strong voice. The realtor community is a strong voice in Texas, but across the nation. Across the nation, we have over 1.2 million members of NAR. And what they were saying is, you know, Texas Realtors is so big on TreePack. They are one of the largest lobbying groups, if not largest lobbying groups in Texas. And with all of our investments to TreePack, we basically have a seat at the table, which is how we can get a lot of this stuff done. So they were encouraging, continue to invest in TreePack, continue to invest in RPAC, and let's keep that seat at the table. Let's not lose our position because we weren't able to invest in our PAC.
Yeah, I cannot imagine, you know, and I know that some of the fear, and we don't want to feed the fear, but that's out there is the uncertainty of what happens because you are independent contractors. So knowing that you have, you should feel comforted that there are leaders that know that and took that into consideration and fought for something. They fought for you when you know, were having to worry about getting your groceries.
Exactly. Which brings me to another thing. For those of you who remember, this is a 100-year anniversary of Texas Realtors. You know, so what a 100-year celebration, right? But April 9th is actually the 100th anniversary to the day. I know it's you know, I know it's tough considering some of the conditions that we're going through right now, but Texas Realtors is asking $100 for 100 years. So basically they're asking you to invest $100 to Tree Pack in honor of the 100-year anniversary. I know I'll be stepping up to do my $100 investment for 100 years.
Me too.
I encourage everybody. I encourage all of membership. I actually challenge all of membership. Let's do $100 for 100 years and support Texas Realtors, support Tree Pack, and let's continue to keep our seat at the table so that when circumstances like this arise, we are listened to.
I think that's a great way to say, you know, we had a big win with independent contractors being included in the CARES Act. And what we need to, I also am going to accept that challenge, Jonathan, and I will also contribute on Thursday, because I do think that this was very important. And I'm honored that they can fight for us. And it's going to take $100 of my income to support the work that they're doing. There's no better time than this situation to show how valuable and how much more we get for our money. And it's exponential. So it's a very important time. And 100 years, $100, I think that's a great way to honor what they've done for us.
I agree. And you know, just, you know, being around Texas Realtor leadership, you know, the task they've taken on with this coronavirus has been tremendous, and they have done a great job of it. You know, from late evening conversations, Saturday conversations, Sunday conversations, closing down their office to working from home. The staff at Texas Realtors, the leadership team at Texas Realtors, they provided us as local presidents last week with a lot of info. Makes me proud to be a Texas Realtor. Makes me proud to be the GMAR president, where I could bring all that info back to everybody here at membership. A lot of great info, a lot of great.
Hey, sorry, all of a sudden it went off. So I want us to try to do this again next Monday, Monday 2 o'clock. And again, just to have a conversation and to, you know, be able to share with our members what we're learning, and to have just a little bit of a back and forth conversation. And I appreciate everybody who joined us. I know that we had at some point about 25 or so people, and I hope that y'all enjoyed this, and those who watch after, it's also beneficial. And again, we just want to show that we're still here, we're working, even if it's in our living room, you know, we're working. We're working for our members, and we're going to be sharing as much information as we can to help you continue to be successful.
As always, I'm here for membership. Should anybody have any questions, anybody, you know, want to find out what's going on locally, state, nationally, give me a call, shoot me a text, shoot me an email. I'm here to answer any calls. If you want to have just a casual chat, I'm here as well.
Okay. Well, everybody have a good week. Work hard. Join the live event on Wednesday. And don't forget about the census. Those are the top priorities. And we will send out a notice when we have the information on our website and the links there for you to share and use. Even with your customers, you can send your customers, once we have that information on the website, y'all can share that with your customers. And they are, you know, the Texas Realtors has a lot of worksheets and I guess information that is beneficial. So definitely want everyone to be on the lookout for those emails, and we will see y'all next Monday. Am I paused?
Have a good one, everybody.
Bye, Humberto.
Thank you, Humberto.